Good morning, power hitters. My name is Jarrett McAllister, and today is March 23rd, 2021. We are about to jump off into our weekly sales training for the Power Hitters team. My name is Jarrett McAllister, co-host alongside Jon Brunasso. What's up, Brunasso?
Woohoo. Good morning, Jarrett.
Feeling good?
So much exciting stuff right now, honestly. This team's doing amazing things. Thank you for that energy that you always bring, jumping right over to success stories. So,
absolutely, man.
Yes, sir. We have two big success stories that I just wanted to highlight. First of all, Lorenzo Jaimes, I'm not sure if he's on the call right now. If you are, you can unmute yourself. But this guy was highlighted.
He's probably closing a deal.
Yeah, he's closing a few deals. Because when you earn $35,000 in one freaking day, oh my gosh, some people earn that in a year. So hats off to Lorenzo. He literally earned $35,000 in one day. Good job, Lorenzo.
Absolutely, man.
It feels amazing to earn that and get a shout out and be recognized. And he's a bilingual mentor on the team with a lot of experience. So good job, Lorenzo. Next up, JC Rangel. Solar Edge is giving away $30,000, guys, just to power. They don't do that for anybody. They don't even normally have contests. So it just shows you that the largest inverter company in the country is really vying for power's business. So JC Rangel is selling the most kilowatts of Solar Edge. He didn't even know. He's not even selling all Solar Edge. He's not even selling that many energy hubs. And he's like, holy cow, now I can sell even more and really make sure I win $10,000, $20,000 or $30,000. So JC, congratulations, sir. It's amazing to see what you're doing, the team you're building, and now the recognition with the $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. How you feeling?
There you go. I feel amazing, man. I mean, I'm excited. Thank you for all your training, all your leadership, all your support. And by the way, the only reason why that happened is because I've got a fast-growing team of champions. If not, it wouldn't have happened. 90% of those deals or more are mentor deals. And again, that comes because of the team. So I'm not anything special. So that just goes to show we have a platform to build a team. We have a lead factory, right? Every day, I mean, like 10 mentor deals assigned a day that we have to pass on to other people because I got chronic laryngitis from talking so much, recruiting. And what I told Jonathan is I wake up in the morning and I sell, recruit, and train until the day is over. That's really the key, right? And then the last thing I'll mention is this, a success story I wanted to share. Super Bowl Sunday, I closed a deal, 45 minutes on Zoom, okay? It was almost $9,000 commission to both parties, the mentor and the mentee. It got installed yesterday. So pretty awesome, yeah.
Fuck yeah. Wow. When was Super Bowl? February?
Mid-February.
Dude, that's nuts. How big was that system, JC?
It was a 14 kilowatt system.
Wow.
Yeah, about $19,000 commission total.
Awesome.
Fire.
Dude, congratulations to all your success right now. Training, selling, building. You're firing on all cylinders and it's amazing. So what else we got out there?
You know what? That was Luis Perez's team. That dude is crushing it. I think he's got 70 people on his team now. He's only like a month and a half, like 2.5 months into the business, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, man, that was Luis Perez. So shout out. It's a team. It's not me. I just came before them and I got lucky, man.
Yep. Luis, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Dude, congratulations on your success. What are you doing that's working? You're building a team, selling some deals. You're on your way to become a mentor here really quickly. What are you doing out there?
That's right. And I'm just gonna, like JC said right now, it's all about just, focusing on selling and recruiting, right? Phase one. And that's exactly what we're doing. And, we're taking advantage of this platform. We're taking advantage of what we got going on. And, and I just want to also thank JC because, of course, he's a big part of of all the success that we're having. So, and you as well. So thank you. And thank you, JC.
Amazing. Thanks, Louis.
All right.
Anyone else would like to share a success story? I know there's too many of them out there.
Don't be shy.
Well,
Yes. By the way, yesterday, Jonathan, we closed the deal in Costa Mesa, and it was another solar energy hub. So there goes another ticket for someone on here. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I think when JC wins $20,000, we'll all get some drinks or something. So good job, Louis. I'll just say, Cynthia Alvidrez is rocking it. She's helping Kiara's team of like 8 to 10 people. Kiara's doing amazing things, bringing in the team. She's 2 months into the business. Cynthia's an amazing mentor, helping the people. The synergy and the platform of mentors to reps to building, you can do whatever you want here. You can build, you could sell, you could train, you could become a mentor. It's really amazing. Like no other company has this opportunity. Where else are they doing trainings in Claremont, Anaheim, Florida, Texas? All you have to do is tell some people. Where else can you get this? So much exciting stuff, guys. There's just so much success stories and sales and team building going on right now. So let's keep the ball rolling here. Oh, and this slide is still in here, but in June, for those of you who didn't catch it, we will be taking some of the mentors and the leaders that want to go. We're trying to narrow down the date, so stay tuned, but we will be taking some of the leaders in June to give back. And honestly, getting Prosperity Homes or Give Power, donating a little bit of money and incorporating that into our slide deck. I'm leading with that every time now. Our team donates to Prosperity Homes, and we're going to go in June to build a home thanks to people like you, Mr. Homeowner. And so when you lead with that, the whole game changes, guys. So formally, we will be introducing Give Power and Prosperity Homes here in the next month or two. But I really feel that this is going to help us all. And it's the most life-changing, humanity-shifting thing that we can be doing with our success. So really, really great stuff to come. All righty. I am excited to introduce Emily Budd. I haven't met in person, just on Zoom, who really runs behind the scenes. She's like a secret agent helping us all. And her team, Jen Drane and Victoria Navarro and some others that really help her out. So she's going to jump on here. She is Jonathan Budd's sister, in case you're wondering. And just teach us on commissions, payouts, who to contact when you have questions, maybe a loan change. And let's just understand what she does, how we get paid, understanding when there may be a delay, and helping her and what we can do to help her team and all do better. So Emily, are you there?
I'm here. Hey, everybody.
Welcome. And Jen Drane too, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm on.
So good to have you guys. Thanks for joining us. Feel free to take it away.
Yeah, so thank you, Jonathan, for inviting us. We are part of the operations team, but you're probably not going to see us interact with you the same way that the PMs do. So I'm really happy that Jonathan brought us on here so we can kind of explain what we're doing. You know, in Power's ever increasing growth, this department, while it existed under a different name and a different way, it's really brand new, I'd say, over the last couple of months, the operational finances. So I'll just explain to you guys, who we are and what we're doing. So I'm Emily. I started working for Power in 2018 when we had maybe 10 people on the team, much, much smaller. And I was just doing credit qualifications and Dividend, which was our partner at that time when we weren't GCs. We were just sending leads and sales to the EPCs. And from there, I went into some project coordination. I went into procurement. And the last 6 months, I've come full circle back to finances. And then we have Jen Drane, you can introduce yourself and what you're doing here with us.
Hey everybody, I'm Jen. I work on your project after the site survey is complete, and so I help get your project through NTP. Now, best case scenario, there's no issue, we slide right on through. But if there is an issue, I'll be the one contacting you.
And then Victoria Navarro is offline today, so I'm sorry guys, she can't introduce herself, but I know there are Sonova sellers on this call and on this team, so I'm sure you've interacted with her before. She is our Sonova specialist. That is all she does, which goes to show you kind of how demanding Sonova is, that we needed a full-time member on this team just to man that process. So, I guess I'll just skip through what we're doing because we just explained it to you, but really the, key performance that we're looking for in this team is to get funded as fast as possible. We want cash flow, and that is one of the main conditions for your M2 to go out. We need to get funded. We need a cost sheet from the installer. We need an M2 commission sheet, and we need funding. So our whole world revolves around getting funded as fast as we can. Next slide. Okay, so commission payouts. I assume you guys know most of this, but just to go through a real quick rundown. So M1s recently changed, as I'm sure you're all aware. We heard the feedback. We knew that they needed to be quicker. And honestly, a lot of the delay was just coming from receiving cost sheets from installers. And so we switched up our process here, and we are just creating M1s now based on the initial contract. So changes will be communicated to you guys, obviously, once that cost sheet comes in, and we know if there's additional changes in the scope of work, but that M1 is just going to go off of the contract you sold and any adders included in it. So as long as the site survey is completed and we have NTP, you will get your M1 payout. And we're hoping that you're seeing that this is happening a lot faster now. So, creating the M1 sheet is simple. We're going off of your contract. What we really need is NTP, and that's when Jen comes in. And this is really when we're doing our first look at the financials of the contract. So we'll submit for NTP. Like she said, if it's all good, we're just going to go right through and you're never going to hear from us. If we have an issue with NTP, then that's when Jen is going to reach out to you, figure out what we need to resolve it, and get it done. The M2, we need the install complete. So that means electrical and solar, and it has to be inspection ready. So no lingering derates or line side taps, it all has to be done. And then once we have that confirmation from the PM team that your install is 1000% done and ready to go, we will submit for funding. And here is what all the variations come in. So LoanPal, in terms of our department, they are the easiest, and that's why I will always be a huge fan of LoanPal for their partnership with us. They really distinguish themselves in this industry as being the easiest lender to work with. They require nothing. So we just tell them that the install is complete. They do a welcome call, but they don't even need the welcome call done to fund us. The welcome call just has to get done sometime after we've submitted for install funding. So they're super easy, and likely you're going to see the fastest commission payouts on your LoanPal deals because of that. Sunlight's quite easy too. They just need plan sets and install photos, which are mandatory. All installers have to do them. That said, some installers can be a little bit slow on getting us these items, at least the install photos. Now we're working on that. Power OS, which is our huge technology platform we're developing right now that we're going to launch soon, is going to be a huge, we're going to relieve that blocker because installers will be uploading these items same day, instantaneously, in a brand new way. And so we're hoping to just keep seeing more improvements on Sunlight, but really, I'd say you're maybe 2 days out for funding past LoanPal here. So you're not going to see a huge difference in commission payouts with Sunlight and LoanPal. Cash deals require that the homeowner has paid their install invoice. So if you're seeing any delays on M2s on cash deals, definitely reach out to us. We can check with accounting, see if that invoice was paid. If it wasn't, have it resent, CC you on it so that we can all kind of tag team the homeowner on it and get it done. And then lastly, we have Sonova, which, hate to say it, but we are about 6 weeks out from paying M2s on Sonova deals. And we have put together a pretty comprehensive list of suggestions and improvements we'd like Sonova's executive team to implement, because we think it's gonna make them better in the long haul, you know, as a company as well, not just for speed to funding. Victoria Navarro did just get a deal funded in 7 days this week with Sater in California. So it's possible, you know, and that's the goal we're holding. If I could see Sonova deals funded in 1 week from install completed, that would be huge. And that's what we're working towards. And it really just, we're dependent on the installers for paying attention to everything that we ask them to do. And so sometimes we're not getting installers who are that detail oriented. And so we really have to vet these installers and make sure any Sonova deals we send out are going to only installers who know the Sonova process, are willing to commit to the Sonova process and get us everything we need when we ask for it.
Right.
So it's not because we're not doing our job. I just want to make sure you know that Victoria Navarro is incredibly on it, but we're not out there at, you know, the house. We're not having our own crew. So we rely entirely on the install part.
Uh-oh. You guys still hear me? Do we lose Emily?
Yeah.
I think so.
I'm here.
I'm here. She's frozen. But no, it's okay.
She'll get back.
See if we can get her back in, guys. Sit tight. Jen, you're still there.
Mm-hmm.
Darn technologies.
Hey, Jen, do you mind explaining NTP to new people to solar on here right now, what that means?
Yeah, okay, so you're with the customer, you sign the contract, you submit a credit application, they're approved. We need to get the site survey done and that completed before we're going to submit for NTP. So submitting for NTP is we take the contract that was signed, we send it to the lender. They compare it to the loan documents that were signed, make sure everything looks good, and that's when they grant NTP. And that means like, okay, we're going to fund this project, like go forward with it. And so there's a number of issues that come up at this point. Sometimes your loan and contract don't match, and maybe you were messing with the proposal, amounts changed. There's other stipulations. I'm sure you've seen occupancy. They want to prove that the customer lives at the house. Ownership, they want to prove that the customer owns the home. Why would they fund something if they don't own the home? Things like that.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Income, different stipulations.
Yeah.
And NTP stands for Notice to Proceed.
Yeah.
For anyone that's wondering there.
Another thing I want to touch on for your cash deals, I guess our NTP blocker would be the customer paying their $1,000 down payment. And so if you're not seeing your M1 on cash deals, just make sure that the customer has paid their down payment.
Okay. Cash deal, $1,000 down payment. I say try to get that in the first week or two at the latest. And then it's 75% at completion of installation, right? Of the remaining balance.
Yep.
Okay.
And then there's another payment due at PTO.
Right. 25% the remaining balance at PTO.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what are you seeing for M1 payouts after site survey? Like, are you seeing 9 days average, 10 days? I know it's literally just coming down recently.
Yeah, so it should be
A week.
yeah, it should be no more than a week, because as soon as site survey is complete, our commission specialists get that trigger to create that sheet, and then a day or two after that, it should be paying your e-wallet.
Got it. Awesome. Yeah, and someone asked, what's PTO? Permission to operate. That's when the utility grants permission to operate. So our installers and power literally submits the agreement in many cases with the inspection passed and anything that the utility needs, they deliver that to the utility, and then the utility says, okay, now you have permission to operate. You're officially a solar utility customer now. Okay, she's coming back in. And, you know, she mentioned something about Sonova, but sometimes Sonova wants to see an extra picture of the electrical panel or the inverter, and then we have to tell the installer to go get that picture. So it is a little bit more time consuming on that end if it's a Sonova deal. Okay, do we have Emily back?
Hey guys, I lost my internet pretty random. So I'm not going to put my video on because I'm using a hotspot right now and I'm afraid it can't really support that kind of streaming, but can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear, Em. We were just going over what NTP means, what the cash deal looks like, and what PTO means. So we're ready to continue.
Okay.
Anything else on this slide?
You know, not really. I think I covered it all.
Awesome. All right.
Well, I just have to say, and this is especially based on Jen's feedback, because Jen works with most of the problem child contracts at the NTP stage. Once we get to install and PTO, all those issues are resolved. So we shouldn't have any financing issues once we get there. And she's repeatedly told me there's no issues on Brunasso's team. So you guys do a fantastic job. I mean, I'll let Jen explain what some of the common issues are that she's seeing in other teams, just so you can prepare and make sure you're looking out for these as your team grows and you're growing your own teams. But all in all, highly impressed with the integrity of the deals that you're selling and the just, you know, accuracy at which we're not seeing any issues. So hats off to you guys. You're doing a phenomenal job financing and selling these deals.
I would just say, you know, make sure you're paying attention to the emails from Sunlight and LoanPal and taking care of those quickly. I guess Sunlight copies us on the emails, but LoanPal, they told me that they send you and the homeowner an email with the stipulations shortly after they sign the loan documents. Is that what you're seeing?
Yeah, we do get an email CC'd a lot of times with the homeowner saying, hey, we need you to provide an income document or title verification. So we do get CC'd on those usually.
Okay, so yeah, just make sure you're not ignoring those. You're making sure that that gets sent.
Sunlight also will email your customer guys, like, please provide the ACH, the voided check to get the auto pay. And just know that with Sunlight in particular, once the loan is funded, it's very hard, if not close to impossible, to get the lower interest rate because auto pay gives you 0.5 point lower. So always make sure to do that for Sunlight. Question for you ladies on selling a clean deal up front, right? So the person on the proposal needs to also be on the credit that's run. And that person has to be on title. Now, if you use a co-signer for the credit application, does that person necessarily have to be on the agreement? I tend to say no. Any feedback on that, if that makes sense? If there's a primary credit app and a co-signer on the credit, do we just need one person to be on the solar agreement?
Jen, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, so yeah, you're correct. If there's a co-borrower, they don't necessarily need to be on the home improvement contract.
Which is HIC, guys, for the new people out there. Mm-hmm.
And an important thing to understand too with the co-borrowers, so for LoanPal, a co-borrower, they'll take whoever has the highest FICO. So if, you know, the co-borrower doesn't have to be on the title of the home, but they do need to have, you know, if your borrower's on the title of the home, but they don't have a great FICO, add a co-borrower on there, and they don't have to be on the title, but Loan Pal will just take whoever has the higher FICO. So that's where they're really helpful. For Sunlight, the co-borrower only helps with debt to income. So Sunlight doesn't work the same way as Loan Pal. The main borrower has to meet their minimum FICO requirements. But if there's a debt to income issue where the borrower isn't able to get approved and you add a co-borrower to increase that annual household income, then that's where a co-borrower really is going to help you on a Sunlight deal.
And I can't stress enough for the newer people here, the name on the proposal needs to be exactly a name on title. If it is, Jose, but he really goes by something else, it needs to be the exact thing on the title that should be entered on the proposal, which is then on the credit application. And then the utility bill is something totally separate. That name, you need to know exactly what's spelled out on the utility bill so that when you request docs, you write it letter for letter in that section. So two separate things here.
I just saw Ralph's question. Technically, you have to occupy that home for 50% of the year for it to be considered a lendable property. So rental properties are not considered lendable by Loan Pal or Sunlight. That's just part of their protection and how they, what their investors are looking for, really, and the people who are buying these loans. That's a really interesting thing too. I've seen a lot of people come back recently because homeowners are getting these notices from the credit unions. And so I just want to make that distinction. The Loan Pal and Sunlight both sell their loans, right? They don't own them. So they're available for customer support for the lifetime of the loan, but they're not actually who owns the loan. And that is why once we submit for funding, we cannot change a loan, because at that point, they have actually sold this loan to the actual credit union, that's usually who it is, who owns the loan. So if you see a homeowner who's getting a notice from what seems to be maybe a random credit union about their loan, that's really the reason why, is because the credit union owns the loan and Sunlight is just the financing partner or lender, but they're not who you're actually paying.
And they do sometimes make them sign something that says like a $40 or $20 yearly fee. Sunlight actually covers that. So you can tell them they don't have to worry about paying that credit union fee.
Right. In the loan docs, it has verbiage on credit union. We actually did a Sunlight training a few weeks ago, and there is no charges, no fees, no reoccurring fees, no upfront fees to be a part of that credit union. That's just one of the ways they get that very low interest rate with the financing.
Okay, so just to keep running through here. So change orders work pretty seamlessly in our system right now. When you get a new contract signed, it's going to go to the PM first. And then once the PM reviews that deal and any changes on it, they're going to flip it over to us through a report. And we go through that report and we make sure that loan docs and financing are all sent to match that new contract that you signed. So technically, it's not even necessary to email us at finance@power.com, but you are free to do this. If you're say you're with the homeowner at that moment and you've just signed a new contract and you want the loan docs to go out at that moment, we try really hard for like our business hours to be available instantaneously for you to get this done via email. Me and Jen are on it like all day. So basically, if you're in the home and you just want it done right now, email finance@power.com and we can definitely get those amended loan docs out for you. If you forget to email finance@power.com, it's okay. We are going to review that change order regardless and get new loan docs out for you. I just wanted to make sure you guys knew that. It's not mandatory to email us to get new loan docs out. Once a contract is signed, a new one, we will get that in a separate report. But by the time it passes through PM review, it could be a day or two before we get it. So if you want it done instantaneously, email us.
One thing, I do want to touch on quick is sometimes you should be looking in your email, because if you get a DocSign notification from DocuSign that a customer signed an old contract, and we don't catch it, we're going to upload that. We're going to send new loan docs for that. And that's going to be a big mess. So just make sure if you're telling them to look in their email to sign something, that they're signing the exact correct thing that you need signed. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, I hope that makes sense to you guys. If there's existing older contracts that you've requested that a customer hasn't signed, DocuSign will send reminders like every couple of weeks. And if a homeowner goes and clicks in that reminder and signs it, we get that new contract. And it has happened before where I send new loan docs out to match that new contract and it was signed in total error. So it's important to, definitely like Jen said, review the DocSign notification you're getting and make sure that the customer didn't sign an old contract out there.
Always dollars and cents, guys. So any contract, any loan document down to the penny has to be exact. Cool.
And let's see, the only other thing I wanted to mention is that Solo calculates a price per watt maximum, but they do not calculate a solar only price per watt. So if you have a lot of adders on your deal, batteries, roof costs, you do have to do your own calculation here to make sure that it's within the parameters. So for LoanPal, that's $550. Your solar only portion, that means the contract cost minus your approved adders, batteries, roof, MPUs, that cost has to be $550 and under. And for Sunlight, it's $6. So Sunlight, actually, it's different. I mean, you guys can ask me if you have any questions on this. I don't want to give you all information you already have, but it's a $6 a watt and it includes roof costs. So I tend to tell people if you have a high roof cost loan, you better go with LoanPal because LoanPal approves up to $7 a watt with roof costs and Sunlight approves $6 a watt with roof costs. And then lastly, just if you look on the bottom there, you know, we get a lot of requests here and we can't just go, oh, can you send a new loan docs for, you know, so-and-so. Our LoanPal account has like tens of thousands of customers in it this time. So we need this information in an email. If you give us this information, we will get your new docs out immediately. Without this, we're going to ask you for this information, kick it back, and it's going to delay the process. So just make sure we have this in the email when you're requesting new loan docs.
Got it. Do we have another question here? I think you answered Jarrett's question. How do we change the process if a client signs a loan doc, but then decides to purchase with cash before installation?
Okay, so you just need to do a change order to get a cash contract signed. And so the loan applications, you don't even really have to cancel them. What essentially happens is after 6 months, they just expire. If the customer feels more comfortable about officially canceling it, for sure we can. Either the customer can call LoanPal and cancel it, or you can request we cancel it. But if we don't submit for funding, which we're not going to do on a project that isn't installed with LoanPal, nothing is going to happen with that agreement that they signed. It'll just expire. So that's number one, you know, feel out the customer and their comfortability. If they want that loan application canceled, go ahead and do so. And then we'll just have to send the customer a deposit invoice before install. So as soon as that cash contract is signed, you should prepare them and you're going to get an invoice right now for $1,000 to secure your installation date.
Very good. Let's keep
The estimated system cost has to be the exact rent. Trying to kind of understand Dwayne's question here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you're asking, Dwayne. It always
Okay,
has.
so, yeah, with the previous company, I guess I took the liberty to kind of round it up. I didn't put the exact amount on the estimated system cost. Is that still?
You have within a $1 variance with LoanPal.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
At my old company, Sunlight would charge homeowners before. So submitting for funding. Have I done it before on a contract or on a project that wasn't fully installed? Yes. Only when that customer's credit is expiring and they were not approved for an extension, or they already were approved for an extension and we ran out of that deadline. What happens is this is going to kick in the 60-day timer. So once we get funded install on a project, we have 60 days to get PTO, and then the first loan payments due. So the issue you're going to run into here, if we're submitting for funding on a project before the MPU is done, that customer's loan payment might kick in before they actually have PTO. And we want to avoid that, obviously, at all costs. To the homeowner and to their entire experience. So that's why it's not something that I'd recommend we ever do. And it's not our process or protocol. I will only do that on select occasions when I know if we do not submit for funding, we will lose the deal because the customer has no more financing approvals.
Got it. Or when Jonathan says, I want my commission now, give it to me.
Yeah. All right, so commissions. I know that you guys have probably suffered with support at power.com in receiving responses in a timely manner. I want to tell you, we hired about a month ago a manager of customer support. His name is Kevin Smoker. He's awesome. He's based in San Diego. He has a ton of experience, like really leveling up companies and their support departments. And we are excited to see everything he brings to the table here. And we also added 1 or 2 more support representatives. So while you may have been really frustrated in the past with receiving responses from support at power.com, this is another department that we're increasing and putting our time and resources into. So I encourage you to keep emailing support at power.com. And if you see delays, if you're not getting answers or the answers that you need, let me know and I can escalate up to Kevin, who's the manager, and he's great. He's going to handle it. But please do keep that channel of communication to support at power.com. And as you see, I did make a note as well. If you're concerned about the cost, reach out to the PM first, because the PM is really who's owning those project costs. They're responsible for making sure that what the installer is charging is what's on our agreement with them. And so support staff is more good for like, I don't see this commission yet, or when is this commission getting paid? But if you're asking about the actual costs on your commission sheet, the PM should be your first line of communication. And then rebate checks, all of that. Again, I would put that to your PM. They should be checking on the status of this with the accounting team. Ambassador checks, definitely support at power.com. They are the only channel that's going to have that information for you. Cash deposits, come to us in this department, me and Jen, finance, M1 and M2, same as above. Change a loan, change orders, finance, all loan stipulations, anything to do with the actual loan itself, come to finance at power.com. And your Sonova related questions, Victoria Navarro at power.com.
Sweet. And for any new people here, Emily, do commissions pay out daily or team override commissions? What's the frequency there? Pretty much every day, 7 days a week?
I don't want to give you a wrong answer about all of the team ones because I don't know that as well, but I do know that commissions are triggered daily.
Gotcha. So yeah.
They are. Now, there's sometimes a 24-hour period of that hitting your e-wallet, so it could be triggered today and you might not see it till tomorrow. But it depends on the time of day that it's triggered. But, in general, I'd say if you don't see it within 24 to 48 hours after we tell you that it should have been triggered or paid, then that's when you'd want to reach out to support and say, hey, what's going on? And sometimes it's a clawback, guys. If you're expecting a commission and you don't see it, it could be if there was a cancellation, then comes out of that clawback comes out of your deposits for the week.
Yep. So go to power.com in the earnings tab. It has all the details. And then you can also double check that with your e-wallet as well, the transactions there. And just pretty cool that it pays out daily. A lot of companies, you have to wait till the next Friday, the following week or something like that. And team overrides, many of you know, pay out on Fridays right now. So anything else, Emily or Jen? Good.
No.
Cool. Well, it doesn't seem like there's any more questions here. If you do, type it in. And we just want to say huge thank you, Emily, Jen, Victoria. Please let them know that this whole team appreciates you getting us paid in a timely fashion, all the hard work you do, all the responses to this team. Seriously, I wanted to connect with you, Jen, because we've had and Emily, because we've had hundreds of emails and we never put a face to the person. So really, really appreciate you guys taking care of us and the most important commission. So there you are.
Great.
Likewise, I know. I wanted to say, put my face on and say goodbye. You guys are awesome. I mean, I can't reiterate enough the kind of clean integrity deals we're seeing from this team. And that makes our job 10 times easier. So thank you. Thank you for believing in power. Thank you for trusting us with your sales and, you know, riding this solar coaster with us. We love you guys.
Woohoo. We love you because you get us paid. Thank you.
Yay, we get
Thank
paid.
you.
Honey.
All right, guys.
Thanks.
All right, have a great
Thank
rest
you.
of the day, everybody.
All right, guys. So we have a few more slides here and we'll wrap this up with some Q&A. Pretty cool to get to meet the team behind all the hard work that they do for us. That's just 2 out of 150 people. So, oh, I think we forgot to cover this slide, but this is lender resources, LoanPal, Sunlight, Pace. It's all in the blog.power.com. Again, the cash in blog.power.com. Take a screenshot if you need to. They can mail a check in. They could wire us the information. They could pay via PayPal if they want, or they could pay with a credit card for a 3% fee. That's for cash, and all the rest. Pace, you need to get certified with Mike St. Lawrence from Pace Funding Group. Sonova at this time is only for mentors. Get to mentor status and we can request you to have Sonova logins. And that is the lender and cash Pace resources right there. All right, so we have less than, I think almost a week left of the 12 months promotion. Don't know if it's being extended, guys. So get out there, 12 months of no payments. You have to add it in the incentives, in the solo proposal. You have to add this. It is an adder, but 12 months of no payments is huge. So that promotion is scheduled to end March 31st. Again, in blog.power.com, you can find some graphics and resources for that. All right, future trainings. Next week is to be determined. Possible topics are including roofing or all things real estate. I think Paul Leon had one idea he wanted to train on again. And so any ideas or topics for training, there's about 14 videos now. So go on my YouTube, go in the Power Hitters Facebook group and find those 14 videos. Send me an email if you need access to it. I'm super excited about Aparna joining us next month on the 13th, guys. She was at Solar City 7 years ago, selling 200 referral deals a year. Her why, where she came from, where she was born, how she connects with people, how she uses your name 100 times in a conversation, and the energy that she brings and how she built the referral-based business, how she connects with her clients is the highest in the industry. Like, she is an amazing individual. She is a VP of Give Power, which is an amazing foundation that builds water, solar plants in parts of the country for 35,000 people to get clean water to. So superhuman, joining us on the 13th next month. But stay tuned. Every Tuesday, we're bringing you amazing trainings as well. This Monday, hot off the presses last night, we have scheduled this Monday, March 29th. Dwayne, you better make this one. It's not your birthday. In Anaheim, JC Rangel, Anthony Bonilla, myself will be leading the charge here. So again, just another amazing event in person in Anaheim. It'll be on Zoom as well in a really cool restaurant. And invite into this, come yourself. We'd love to see you, meet you, and hang out for a really cool business showcase. So future events here, like I said, this Monday, 6 o'clock in Anaheim. And then tomorrow, as always, guys, 11 a.m., powercalendar.com. 11 a.m. Pacific, a new consultant launch training by Melissa Dawson. 12 o'clock is always a consultant training on Wednesdays. This Thursday, this is huge. If you put one in your calendar, please put the CEO call. This Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific on Zoom. Jonathan Budd is coming from the Virtual Media Center, the CNN Tony Robbins style media center. If you haven't seen it yet, it's amazing. So this Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 Central, definitely try to hear and see Jonathan Budd from the media center. And as always, every Friday, there's a Q&A in powercalendar.com at 11 a.m. Pacific. Someone asked can I bring someone to the CEO call? My advice on this is if they've already watched a video about power, if they've already had a conversation about power, then you can invite them to the CEO call. It's for someone that's a little bit more educated, kind of in decision-making mode. If they don't know zero about power, it's probably not in your best interest to invite them to the CEO call, even though it's really badass. So lots of events, stay plugged in, add it to your calendar. And I will end by saying, if you know anyone in Florida, go to Power Pioneers Facebook, Power Hitters Facebook. There's 5 events coming up that Charles and team is running. If you're anywhere near these events, or if you know anyone near them, trust me, it's impactful, it's educational, it's amazing. Go right up to Charles, right up to Melissa Dawson, tell them you're on the Power Hitters with JC Rangel, Jon Brunasso, the whole team, and they will be treated as family. So Florida, build into that. Again, another opportunity to build your team. I never thought I'd have teams in Florida and Texas, and that's the magic of this platform. So with that, I'm going to open it up to Q&A. Type something in, jump off of mute. We got 15 minutes. No question is a dumb question.
Can you hear me, JB?
Please. Yes, Danny, what's going on?
Do you know who's in charge of the Power Pioneers Facebook group besides Larry Golden? Is that the right group?
Power Pioneers, Matthew Welsh or Matt Welsh,
Okay.
or Bobby Smith, or just email support@power.com.
Okay, thanks.
Also, I'd like to add this Saturday.
JC, a little bit closer to the microphone, my friend.
This Saturday, I'm going to be in El Paso, Texas, doing a Super Saturday. So it's going to be in Spanish, though. So if you guys have any Spanish-speaking people in El Paso, I'm going to be doing a training and a presentation. So yeah, and I'm going to be
This Saturday, El Paso, Texas. JC is going to be doing a Super Saturday training and business showcase. Got it. El Paso. All right, I'm going to stop this recording, everybody, and we'll leave it open to Q&A. Thank you so much for watching this training, joining us today, bringing a ton of fun every Tuesday. I hope this was valuable. Thank you so much.